beautiful. How are you? Welcome to a Instagram live series that I'm going to be running for you over the course of this next week. We are having conversations around identity upgrades. This is a conversation I am obsessed with. This is the first time that I am hosting this on Instagram and doing Instagram lives, which is really exciting. If you are here, say hello, 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 hello. So this is going to become a little mini series. So we're going to have lives today, tomorrow, same time, and again on Thursday. So I want you to come along. I want you to join. If you are watching the replay back of this right now, what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be uploading these and putting them on YouTube. So if you prefer to watch on YouTube because you can maybe speed up the time or it's just easier to listen over on YouTube, that's going to be happening. So if you are here, I would love to, and anything that I'm saying is landing for you and you would love to comment or share or show up inside of the comments, I would love to hear from you. Hello, beautiful Amanda has just arrived. And so I'm calling this mini-series The Identity Upgrade. And today, what I wanted to have a conversation about was unlocking a new identity. So this is something that really fascinates me and something I love speaking about because as a coach and having coached hundreds of women, I get to see so many ways in which people show up and behaviors and thoughts and mindsets that people share with me. I have these front row seats to the inside workings of women who come into my vortex, my clients. And also you can't help but then notice it every single place in your world and how other people are interacting and the decisions they're making and the things that you can just, I could just see it so clearly. So it's like my superpower, and it's also the part where it's I can't get away from it. I just love it so much. So I have this belief, and I feel like inside of this training is busting and having some conversations about some myths. So when it comes to an identity upgrade and common beliefs that we have, or what it actually means and what it actually looks like, I want to have a conversation about that. So I do have some notes, so you're going to see me look down a little bit because otherwise this conversation is going to go on for 5 hours. And that's why I've broken it down into 3 trainings, because otherwise I will just go and go and go and go and go because I love this stuff, right? So the first thing I wanted to speak about is, I just wanted to introduce myself. If you are watching this, you are listening here on IG or you are over on YouTube and you are witnessing or you're experiencing Steph Lenny for the first time, I am Steph Lenny. I am the founder of High Quality Human. I am obsessed with human behavior. I am obsessed with the thoughts, the mindset, the habits that people have that create their reality. And I coach incredible humans who are in business, who are either beginning in business, middle stages, very, very established inside of their business, because at every single level of your evolution, of your growth, of your business journey, you will always find yourself in an identity upgrade. You will always find that if you're wanting to, we're not here to coast, right? If you've found me, you discover me, you're here with me, you're not someone who's just going to coast along and it's just going to be status quo and this is just going to be the way that it is. You're somebody who has come to this earth and you're okay, let's fucking do this. Let's fucking go. Let's go bigger. Let's make this bigger. Let's do what we can do. That's why you're inside of my vortex right now. So with that comes identity upgrades. With that comes these moments of right? Welcome. This is actually part of the process. And so being able to observe so many incredible humans and clients, I get to see this. It's so normal for me. And sometimes I love to remind my clients that there's actually nothing wrong with you. Nothing bad is actually, the world is not against you. This is just part of the process. This is just what happens when you decide growth, evolution, and to go bigger. This is just what happens. So in my world, we want to just normalize the feeling of the discomfort. We want to understand that it's part of the journey. It's actually not a big deal, right? And so in my world, I'm a bit of a psychopath, but I do like that feeling of oh, I'm in my growth. Oh, this is a new edge. Oh, I'm feeling nervous. Oh, I'm feeling I could totally back out on this. I love that feeling because it is about to unlock your next level identity. Okay, so let me talk to you about Steph Lenny. So Steph Lenny 2020. Let's talk about Steph Lenny 2020. So 6 years ago, I was an identity of very safe, very do the right thing, very follow the path, very live in the neighboring town to where I grew up, have the same best friends that you've had for the last 20 years, say the right thing, do the right thing, don't do anything that's like gonna raise the eyebrows or going to offend anybody or make anybody think bad about themselves, or like just do the right thing. Basically, that was Steph Lenny 2020. And I remember driving home from work one day, sitting in peak hour traffic, and thinking, fuck, I do not want to be doing this commute. Like I didn't really know, like in that moment, it feels like such a line in the sand moment for me. But I remember thinking I need to do something different. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is, but I want to do something different with my life. And hello, Sal, if you are here with us as well. I want to do something different with my life. I want to basically get out of the 9 to 5. I want to get out of the peak hour traffic. Like that's basically what it was at that time. It was most focused on lifestyle. I thought I want to change my lifestyle. I was seeing people on Instagram and they were like living by the beach and they were doing these things that they wanted to do. And that wasn't my reality. That's not what I was doing. And I was like, fuck, maybe I could try to do that too. Like maybe I could do that as well. In that moment, I really didn't know what I was signing up for. I didn't know that one moment, like I remember driving Rosanna Road, coming home. If anyone's from Melbourne, you know Rosanna Road. I don't know what it's like now, but man, it used to be like an absolute standstill. Sitting in the car going, I'd love to like change this. I'd love to not be doing this. I'm going to try that. Like I'm going to go down that path of actually doing that. I didn't realize in that moment that I had just signed like an invisible soul contract with myself to say, okay, let's fucking do this. Let's go. You said you wanted to, now let's go. Now the problem is a lot of people say that they're gonna, people say that I wanna, and they say that I'm gonna try that and I'm gonna see how it goes, but they don't actually follow through with the identity upgrade, because the identity upgrade didn't really happen in that moment. That was just a cheap, quick, easy decision, right? It's actually quite easy to make the decision, because here's what I know. By observing hundreds of women's behavior, if someone can make a decision today, yes, and then 5 minutes later go, no, do you know what? No, probably not going to do that. So it's nothing to do with the fucking decision. It's everything to do what happens after you decide. That's where the identity upgrade actually happens, right? So Steph, 2020, she had the 9 to 5 job. She had the good car. She had the husband. She had the baby. She had the freshly renovated house. She was the 20-year high school friends. She was working 9 to 5. She was saying the right thing. She was, you know, I did use social media, but I used it to like, you know, share my life or picture of my breakfast and like I was doing this. And whilst all of that was fine, it was like, that was my life, right? It was like, don't be too much online. Like there wasn't even I would never even have a thought to like share your perspectives or share your opinions or create a business or make, you know, multiple 6 figures be scaling to 7 figures. Like what the fuck? Like I wouldn't have even thought that was possible back then. It was not even in my conscious mind. It wasn't even in my conscious awareness that could be possible. So fast forward to today, like I have literally changed my life. That one moment of deciding, okay, cool, this is what we're going to do, was a big deal, right? Like I remember, but it was easy. It was easy to say that, right? Because so many people do. But then that one big decision led to tiny little micro moments, tiny little shifts, tiny little opportunities for me to always choose the upgrade, Now, here's what most people miss. We're going to talk about this inside of our training tomorrow as well, is most people think that their identity upgrade or that new identity upgrade or that next level is like one big ginormous decision or one big ginormous thing that happens. But in fact, what I've noticed from coaching hundreds of women is that it's in the micro moments of your day. It's in the micro moments of your week. It's in the micro moments of your month that help you to get to that one big event. So this, like, if I was to say, like, this is why I think, like, me bringing forward this concept and me bringing forward this work, having worked with so many women and seeing this so painfully clearly a lot of the time, is like, it's in these tiny little moments where we just chooses, we go back and we're like, no, because it feels so much better to go back. Now, if I think about this, 2020 Steph, who had the house, who had the 9-to-5 job, who had the baby, who had the husband, who was doing the right thing, who was so scared to offend anybody anytime or say the wrong thing, like, I'm not even joking you, I would get a nervous rash. I would like, oh my God, like it was like my whole body would go, like I wouldn't sleep that night. And like from that person to who I am today is completely different. So actually I would love to share a story with you about that. I remember at the beginning of like, okay, I decided I'm going to change my life. So here's also the thing. I'm driving in the car and I'm going to completely change my lifestyle. Cool, whatever, no big deal. I'm going to change my life. So I'm going to work out like, these people are working online and doing things online. I'm going to work out how to do that. Driving along, no big deal. I didn't know that actually meant, okay, you're going to have to change so many different areas of your life. Conversations you have been having, cannot have them anymore. People you've been hanging around with, cannot have them, cannot spend time with these people anymore. Thoughts that you have, they've got to go. Where you play the victim, completely got to fucking go. Like so many different areas. And this is why I say the micro moments. You are also gold, Amanda, and I'm so excited. Amanda is also inside of my upcoming mini mind. If you were listening to this and you were like, I fucking need this in my world, we have a 5-week mini mind coming. It's called You Are the Strategy. It starts next week. Amanda is already in. If you want the details, comment mini mind. I'm going to send them to you. And I remember starting this process, like it feels disconnected, but starting this process of like speaking up and sharing my opinions and sharing my perspectives. And I shared something on social media. And I remember coming in, and this was COVID. This is 2020 COVID. So whatever your thoughts, feelings are about COVID, I lived in Victoria. It was like a pretty savage time in Victoria in COVID to be living in Victoria. Anyway, I shared something on my social media. Hello, beautiful Gab. Gab is also in for the 5-week mini mind, and I'm so excited to have you inside of that space. And I shared a story. And I was sitting back in bed, and I think we just got into bed. We had our son, just got into bed, sitting in bed, back against the pillow. I fucking remember it so clearly. I'm also a very visual person. So when you see me looking up here, if anybody knows like mindset coaching, it's like we're looking over here, we're recalling a memory. I'm sitting in bed and my phone goes off and I have a text message and it's from one of my best friends of 20 years. And she sends me a message and she said, Steph, you've posted something on social media and I'm deeply offended. We had very different polar opinions on like what was going on in the COVID times. And you've offended me so much and I'm crying and I'm so upset and, all of these things. And I remember sitting in bed and I was like, oh my God. Like I've made someone feel so bad and I feel so bad. And I was like sweating. Like I remember sweating and I'm like, I'm probably getting a rash. And I didn't fucking sleep that night. I literally did not sleep that night. And then I woke up the next morning and I fucking still felt bad. Like I was just like, oh my God, I feel so bad. But I also had to practice massive restraint to apologize, right? Because I was sharing my opinion. I was sharing my belief. I was sharing that like, this is actually my truth and what I think in this moment. It might change. This is what I think in this moment. The old identity of Steph would have gone into, oh my God, I'm the worst person on the planet. I am so sorry. Oh my God, I'm going to delete my Instagram. I'm not going to post for another 5 months. I'm going to go on a hiatus. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But identity upgrade is in that tiny little micro moment where I chose something different, right? Where I said like, okay, Steph, if you are actually the person who completely changes her lifestyle, because that's all it was at that time. I just wanted to not work 9 to 5. I just wanted to work from home, right? You're going to have to start to do some things different. And it starts with those little micro moments. And so I want to share with you, so I want to share with you 3, actually I'm going to share with you 3 micro moments because I want you to be able to see this in yourself. I want you to be able to see where like, holy shit, every single day you are provided with so many opportunities to choose different. And sometimes it's not a huge difference. So I'm actually right now in the process of buying a new car. So that feels like something that's a bigger, right? But like the identity upgrade of getting a new car, it's not like this, that's the big identity upgrade. It's actually every single thing that happened before that got me to the point where it's like, I can get a new car. And I want to get a new car. So it's like most people focus and they teach you about the big moment, but actually it's in all the tiny little micro moments that help you to get to that. So there was a moment in my world where I hadn't left my job yet, and I was coaching behind the scenes, like I was doing my coaching qualification, and I was still working my 9-to-5 job. And I remember like getting the courage to tell my work bestie that I was going to do this. And I was like, it's like nerve-wracking because, of course, here's the thing that most people miss is like, I still experience the nerves. I still, like, even coming, I'm like, I'm going to do a 3-part training live on Instagram. I always do them on Zoom. I always do them delivered. I always do it in another way. And it's like, oh, I'm a bit nervous for this. Oh, like this is a new edge and I've got some notes. And is it okay if I look down? Is anyone going to think anything? It's like, you still feel all of this, but you just choose the better option, right? Like you just choose to go like, okay, no, I'm actually going to do this. Anyway, so in that moment, I was like, I'm going to tell him, my work bestie, I'm going to tell him. We're sitting in the office together, dark little gloomy office. And I said, Gary, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to go and be a coach. And he literally laughed in my face. He was like, what? Steph, you're nuts. Like, you've gone mad. Why would you do that? You've got the best job. Like, I was the manager. You got the best job. The boss loves you and you get pay rise and you do all the things and you've gone mad. Like, what are you going to do? And he's like, it's so competitive out there. There's so many coaches and who are you going to be? And why would anyone work with you? And I'm not even joking you. It was just like this. And in that moment, I was like, okay, whoa. Like that was an identity upgrade. Hello, beautiful Cherie. To share that with someone. Right? You know those moments where you are like, this is my big, ginormous goal. This is the incredible thing that I'm going to do. And someone's like, you got to be fucking joking. That is not going to work. Hilarious. Laughing, like literally laughed in my face. You all have experienced that moment. And I promise you that you will experience it again. But this time, like, and then me too, because I would still experience this, but this time it feels like this. Because I'm just like, actually nothing. Like, doesn't even touch the signs. Of course, there's a whole conversation that we need to have around, he's just reflecting back to me his level of belief in himself, of course. But in that moment, it doesn't matter, right? Like in the moment, your ego is not telling you that, does not give a shit about that. It only cares about how you feel in that moment and holding on to, hello, beautiful, Leanne, hello. Holding on to that identity that it knows so well. Right? It doesn't care that Gary's just reflecting his own level of belief onto me. My ego is like, see, you are fucking hilarious. You are ridiculous, as if this is going to work for you. That's what my identity. Because when I love to think about it like this. So that was, say, 2021. But so for my whole life up until that point, how old would I have been? I'm so bad at math. So come into my world and just remember how I'm so bad at math. But for whatever, like 30 something years running an identity and running a program of like, do the right thing. Don't let people judge you. Don't offend anybody. Don't make anyone feel bad. Like, don't do, like all of these things. I've run an identity of that for the last 30 years. I'm sitting in that office with him. That identity is screaming at you saying, you're ridiculous, Steph. Like, this is insanity. You're ridiculous. No one believes you. You can't do this. And I remember walking away from that and it did hurt, like it actually did hurt because it's okay. I know. It actually did hurt. But walking away from that saying, fuck you, Gary. I got this. I love Gary till this day. Like I absolutely love Gary so much. I don't have much contact with him. Oh, don't send this to Gary. No, don't send this to Gary. But like, it's like, well, I'm just going to do it anyway. Because the identity upgrade in that moment was you get to continue to choose and align your actions with what other people think is possible for you. Or you get to choose actions that align with what you actually think is possible for you. And what you want to believe is possible for you. The identity upgrade is so minor. Like, right, it's like in that tiny little micro moment, everybody's looking for the one big thing, but it's not. It's actually when you walk out of that office and you go, fuck you, Gary, I got this. That's it there. And then when you then take the action that aligns with fuck you, Gary, and Gary, I love you so much. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you take it's not like the action that aligns with this is ridiculous. What am I even thinking? Is like, okay, cool. I'm actually not going to. Yes, that's why I love Gary. Yes, exactly. I'm laughing because it's so true. And the action would be, oh my God, he's right. Like, close down the Instagram. Forget about that. Maybe offer a few free coaching calls, whatever. Or instead, go full ham, do a campaign, launch your first group program, which back then was called Creating a Fuck Yes Life. Has 4 incredible women join that program. 4 incredible women join that program. Little old Steph, who was just like nervous as all get up and go. Just like share your stuff that you've already done, Steph, with these incredible women and change their life. One of the women inside that program, I fucking love this, Maddie. I love you, Maddie. One of the women inside of that program, Maddie, she messaged me, like we're still in contact, right? But she's messaged me multiple times inside of that program that we did. I'm not trying to sell you into that program because it's fucking gone and old, but Creating a Fuck Yes Life, I asked them to visualize their dream day. Like, what would you want it to look like? And she revealed, like, she hadn't done anything like that. And she was like, oh my God, I've revealed this whole piece. So she was like, cool, I'm going to do that. She has kept in contact with me the whole way along going, Steph, I did it. She had to go and actually do study to get a qualification to be able to do that. She did it for 18 months. It required her to do 3 nights a week. She's got 2 kids and she did it. And then her and her husband started a business. And then most recently, I reckon like a couple of months ago, I was in contact with her. She said, Steph, in this business that we have created that I visualized when we worked together back in 2021, we are now booked out. We have a wait list until 2028 or 27. I'm bad with maths and numbers. I told you that earlier. They have a wait list. Anyway, right? Because she decided that would be like, because I didn't let Gary's words take me out and do my old identity pattern shit over here. Then I went and created the program, and then Maddie went and had this breakthrough, and now Maddie's over here with a wait list of clients in her business, let's say 2027. Through to 2027. Like, in my world, I speak about this. Your evolution and your growth has actually nothing fucking to do with you. Of course it does. But when you're on earth, you are impacting so many other people's at every single micro moment of your life. You said something to somebody 3 weeks ago that they're thinking about today. Fuck, I need to do that. Yeah, absolutely. She was so right. When you understand this is like consciousness conversation that I'm just bringing in here because Steph Lenny, your life changes. Every single thing you do is with intention, right? It actually matters because the one little micro moment where you actually chose the identity upgrade then goes on to have a impact on somebody else and their identity upgrade. It's not just about you. It's not just about me. There was another moment that I want to share with you. And this was the moment that I was standing in my kitchen in our house and I was on the phone to my mum. I was doing the dishes and I was on the phone to my mum and I was saying to my mum, I'm quitting my job. You know, I've had this situation with Gary and then I'm having this with my mum. And I said to my mum, I'm quitting my job and like, we're going. And, oh no, hang on. No, lie. I was taking long service leave. I had long service leave up my sleeve. I said, I'm taking long service leave. I'm going to go out. I'm going to slay this business. I'm going to do all these things. And I'm never coming back anyway. But I'm going to take the long service leave. So I'm never going to come back. And my mum said to me, that's a great idea, honey. Because if it doesn't work out, your boss will always have you back. And in that moment, I froze. And I was like, oh, yes, you're right, Mum. I am playing in an old identity. So I said, Mum, thank you so much. I need to quit. I'm not taking the long service leave. I'm quitting straight up. My mum was like, no, don't quit. Take the long service leave because you can always go back if it doesn't work. And I was like, no, because I'm playing in an old identity of like, do it safe because if it doesn't work, then you'll always have this to go back to. But I'm like, fuck that. The identity upgrade stuff is like, this works no matter what. This works no matter what. You have a plan B. You have a get out of jail free card. You do not go for it with fucking every single thing that you've got. You don't. And so that was an identity upgrade moment. Can you feel the difference? Can you feel like sometimes we move through our life and we move through our day and we just think like that was no big deal. And I had this really annoying conversation, or this person said this to me, and that was so annoying how that happened. And we don't actually see that, holy shit, I've asked for, remember, Steph Lenny driving Rosanna Road. I want to change my entire life. I want to change my life. So I want to change my life. Okay, bring it on, right? Goes and quits the gym. Right? It's going to show you, it's going to bring you, it's going to say, okay, well, how serious are you about this? Here are so many little moments that it's going to present to you that's going to ask you, how serious are you about this identity upgrade that you told me earlier that you wanted? I wonder what it would look like for you if you were to take on my belief for like a day, a week, of like, life is actually one big game. Life is one big game that you actually get to win if you want to. You have to look at the micro moments. You have to look at the small little ways in which the universe, God, source, spirit, whatever it is you believe in, is giving you the exact thing that you said you wanted. And it's not going to feel comfortable. So I want to share with you one more. Micro moments. I had my first program, 4 incredible humans inside of that program. And then I quit my job and I was like, I'm doing this. It's going to be a 50K month straight off the bat. I'm doing this. This is my program. This is a new program I've created. Come on in. And I had one person join that program. And I was in there going, oh my God, it starts tomorrow. Oh my God, like there's only one person in. What's she going to think? She rocked up to that first training. And I was like, should I cancel it? Should I push it back? Like all the questions of this identity. The identity was like, okay, Steph, no. You actually just follow through with what it is you said and you go and you do. I opened up the Zoom. She came into the Zoom room. There she was. She saw that it was just me and her. And she said to me, Steph, is it just me and you inside of this program? And I said, yes. And in my mind, I was like, oh, how embarrassing. Like, fuck, she's going to think like, it's only me and you. And like, where's everyone else? And da-da-da. And she said, oh my God, that is the best thing ever. She said, it's like one-on-one. Are you joking me? Hello, beautiful Kylie, Alex. Oh my God, I'm so lucky. And in that moment, I knew that I had an identity upgrade. I knew that I was like, Steph, you could have followed your old pattern and made it about you. You launched this program, you opened the Zoom room, you welcomed this incredible woman in, Lauren. I love her so much. She's so happy. She had the most incredible breakthroughs inside of that program. It changed so much for her inside of that program. Thank God I chose the better option of going for the identity upgrade and doing this no matter what. And I definitely believe the way that I actually full body remember that exact moment where she said, oh my God, it's just us one-on-one. This is incredible. It makes sense that 4 months after that, when I had been in business for 5 months, I had my first 10K cash month. Because I was like, oh my God, this is part of it. I could make this a bad thing. I could make this mean like you're not good enough. You didn't do the right thing, old identity. Or I could be like, Steph, fucking go for it. Over deliver, give so much value. Show up like there's a million women in this room, but show up like there's one woman in this room who is like, life is about to be changed because of the work that you do. This is why I say it all of the time, that you are the strategy. You are the strategy in your business, in your life, how you show up for the tiny little micro moments, what you decide that they mean about you, about the world, about how good you are, about how many people like you, about how many people want to buy from you or follow you, or all of these things. Your identity upgrade is happening in the tiny little micro moments. And the most unfortunate piece of the puzzle is that most people miss this. They're looking for the one big occasion. They're looking for the one big thing to anchor it in. When I can do this, that's when I can. It doesn't work like that. It's in the tiny little moments where we decide to align the actions, the thing that we actually do next with the next level identity. And if everybody could change their relationship slightly with discomfort, there would be more identity upgrades going on. Because here's the thing. when you are sitting in the meeting room with Yari and he's laughing in your face, telling you that you're going to fail, basically, that feels really uncomfortable, right? That feels really uncomfortable. The first piece of discomfort was when you told him that. And then the next time is when you had to walk out of that meeting room, stand up a little bit taller, and then go and post your content the next day. Or go home and create that offer that you said you were going to create. That is uncomfortable because your entire internal world is saying run the other way. So it's uncomfortable. It's discomfort. The more we can see like discomfort and even rejection or problems or struggle, like things, like not to normalize like life is so hard, but like these things, and it's like this is part of the growth and evolution that I actually bloody asked for. Damn it, damn me, let's go. That is what unlocks your new identity. It's the micro moments that you miss. This is why my clients work with me, right? Because you are so close to the action. Sometimes it's like fucking hard to know, like, is it this or is it this? And I thought it was this yesterday, but today is it this? We get in our head, right? There's multiple things at play. It's not just like the one thing. It's the old identity, it's the ego, it's the society, it's your values, it's how honest you can be with yourself. It's not just one thing. There's a multitude of reasons why you stay capped by your old identity, why you loop. This is why a lot of people have very consistent / same results / same problems / same patterns, because they're just looping in an old identity. And then breaking through of it, creating that new, unlocking that new identity takes things to change. And it's in those tiny little micro moments, right? So this is why my clients work with me, because they can do it better than me. They can do it faster than me because they have me showing them and reflecting it back to them, and they can see it through this lens. So if this is landing for you and you are like, I need in on this conversation, I want to be able to see where I am going back on my offer, on my messaging, where I'm not actually seeing myself as the one, where I'm actually letting someone else's thoughts or ideas or opinions infiltrate what I do next, then you're going to love the mini mind that's coming up. It's starting next week. It's called You Are the Strategy. It's 5 weeks. Comment mini mind if you want the details for this. I'm going to send them to you. Beautiful humans inside of this live who have been inside of this live. I don't know if you're still here, Amanda, Gab, you guys are inside of this mini mind already. And I'm really excited for that. So here's what I want to leave you with. Your relationship with discomfort has to change. I want you to be able to see, like from somebody who has coached hundreds of women, to be able to see in the micro moments of your day where you're being presented with an opportunity, right? Where you're being presented with something that's going to stretch you, that's going to feel uncomfortable, that's going to question whether you're doing the right thing or not. I want you to look at those tiny little micro moments. It's not a huge thing. So even going back to what Amanda said, it's not a huge thing of close down the gym, but it's like, what are the little bits and pieces in and amongst it where you actually have an identity, you have an opportunity to unlock a new identity within that, right? If you were to see it as in the micro moments, the little tiny subtle ways in which you could easily miss, you could easily brush over. So we take me back to me when I'm standing at the sink and my mum says, that's fine, because if it doesn't work, you can always go back to your job. And in that moment, even though my body was saying to me, like aha, I had this biggest aha where I was like, Steph, you've got to quit. I could have easily gone, no, mum's right. Yeah, mum's so right. I'm going to stay. I'm going to do the maternity leave, the long service leave, and then I'm going to do da-da-da-da-da, right? So this is episode 1 of the identity upgrade. How are you feeling? If you're watching this over on YouTube, let me know. Come find me on Instagram as well. Let me know how this has landed for you. And comment mini mind. Come and join my 5-week mini mind. You Are the Strategy. Every single day this week, I will die on the hill. And we are back tomorrow, same time, same place. And tomorrow we're having a conversation about, hey Remy, about the truth about your line in the sand moment, right? So I'm going to bring some truth to a line in the sand moment tomorrow, IG Live on Instagram. I'm going to see you there. Have the most beautiful day. Bye.